Good morning, everybody. It is April 2nd, 2022, and this is episode 115, I think. It is a very sunny, lovely spring day and blue skies, so the sun hasn't quite reached over here, so I've got my lights on. So hopefully that's enough. That gives us enough light. We are actually supposed to get pounded with a snowstorm tomorrow, so one extreme and the other. Did I introduce myself? Hi everybody, I'm Kelly. This is Loch Briar Knits. It's a knitting podcast. We're off to another rambly start. I'm trying to see, I'm going to move my glasses because I'm probably going to need those. I have two half-finished objects and a new cast-on and plans. I have plans. So let's jump in. So this is my sock that's been on the needles for quite some time. More time than it should have been, and it is done. I have cast on the second one. This is out of Hypothesis yarn. Do I have the tag in here? I don't know what I did with the tag. I just dropped something though, probably the pattern. I always keep my notes on how to do my vanilla sock because no matter how many times I do it, when I get to the heel I don't trust myself. This was her, oh my god, I'm totally blanking on the name. It was her charity skein. I'll put it down here. I remember. Totally blanking. Good podcasting, Kelly. Good podcasting. So I have cast on the second one. I didn't get very far. I cast this on the other day. And I did again the German twisted cast on, which went much easier this time. I caught on for watching the thing once. That's really all there is about that. I do my socks on a size 0, which 2mm, and I do magic loop. I would like to try to do it on the circular. I just don't quite grasp how you do the I had a really good sleep last night and I don't think my brain's woken up yet. I don't quite understand how you do the heel flap gusset. But I could always switch over to the magic loop for that because I find it this part very quick to do on magic loop. And I hate DPNs, so I'm not switching to DPNs. That's where we are with that. I might do a little work on that. I've got a bunch of podcasts to catch up on, so that's going to be probably a little fun thing to do. The other one that I have been putting a lot of work into is my blizzard sweater. And I hit the point now. What I did was, I'm on Body Island. I like my sweaters to kind of hit about here. When I kind of unfold this, I'm almost there. I think I'm pretty much at where I start the hem. I'm not sure how long she has you do the hem for. I have to check it, but I usually like my hem to be about like that. I don't like a short hem very much. I kind of like the look of like a longer, at least 2 to 3 inches. I really enjoyed the color work, even though I made some mistakes, but then I made mistakes, but I actually tinked back. Because, this was my first colorwork sweater, so I really wanted it. I wanted it to be as perfect as I could get it. See if I can get a little closer with the color work. So yeah, I really like this. She made this sweater for the beginning colorwork knitter, and it was really simple. So it was really a joy to knit. I didn't feel like I was straining my brain too much doing it. I think it looks lovely. That's the back. You can see the short row shaping. You know what I like about this is that I'm never going to have any issue knowing where the back is, like I do on most of my sweaters. So yeah, I don't know, there's not too much to say about that. I'm using Swish DK in the Cobblestone and the white colorway, Swish DK from Knit Picks. And the only change I made was, rather than a 1x1 rib, I did a 1x1 twisted rib because I find that much neater. I'm not a very good 1x1 ribber. It always seems to look messy to me. I do have all my ends to weave in. I'll show you my floats. Pretty happy with how those turned out. So there's my floats. I think those turned out pretty good, pretty even, not too much in the way of puckering at all, I don't think. We'll know when it does look pretty good, doesn't it? I am very pleased with my floats. I may actually measure this today and see, because I know where Swish DK is superwash wool, so I'm expecting it will stretch a little in length when I block it. So I'm going to stop it about this much from where the length that I want. And then I expect it will probably, in blocking, stretch a bit because of the superwash. That's my plan. And then it's on to the sleeves. Now, I haven't actually read what she does for the sleeves, but what I will likely do is I kind of like my sleeves a little more fitted. I like them not too fitted here, but kind of as I go down and I start to get more to here, I like only like a little bit of ease. Tight enough that I don't feel like I've got really loose sleeves. There's the Swish DK. So it's Cobblestone, and then the white is just literally called white. That's in my loop bag. And I've still got 3 of the gray plus the one I'm working on, which is just kind of not even halfway through, I don't think. So I'll definitely have enough left. So that's about everything on that one. And then the new cast on in my Jenna Rose bag. I love these bags. So covering my dog hair. But my new cast on is the Free Your Fade. I don't know if this is going to show up very well because my color printer is dying a slow death. But this is basically what it will look like in the end. And she has you can pretty much use however many colors you want in it. I'm using 3 as she suggests, and I'm using the Fleece Artist. This is the National Parks collection that Fleece Artist did. Basically took each province and territory and they did a colorway for each. So I originally decided I was going to do the Nova Scotia PEI and then Newfoundland. But as I looked at it, Newfoundland had a lot of green in it. It's a beautiful skein. I really wanted to use it. But I have a Free Your Fade that is greens and grays. And I thought it might end up looking a little too similar to that. So I decided to pull the Newfoundland one out and use the New Brunswick. So I really do have the Maritime Provinces. And I'm starting with Nova Scotia, which I think when I podcast last, I said Nova Scotia was the first color was the bigger end. It's actually the least. And I didn't bring the skein up. I think left it in the thing down, but I probably have at least 2/3 of that skein left over. So I can use that again. But this was and I'll show you what I have going here, but this was the Nova Scotia one, and it was based on Sable Island. So it kind of gives you like just a little sample here. Then I'm moving into PEI, which is, I don't have my glasses on. Who am I kidding? Greenwich Dunes. So that's this one. And then the New Brunswick one is Fundy. So this is what I've got so far. I've completed the Nova Scotia section, which is the first color. When you block this, it really, really blooms. So it's going to get a fair bit larger. This is the Nova Scotia, and you can kind of see like it's got the light blues and the browns and then some white in there, like creamy white. And then you kind of fade it into the next color. And then the next color I've already started, which is the PEI color, which is sort of very muted yellows, blues, and greens. So that's kind of what it looks like together. And then the New Brunswick skein was when I was skeins it up, it was part of the yarn was looped around each other and there was no way to kind of unloop it without undoing everything and taking my ball winder and looping it back around, and I just got really ticked off about that. So I just broke it. I'm probably gonna start with this one and then add this one in because this was the first, so I know that this end, and so I know that these two ends, ooh, oh my God. These two ends like match, and then the colorway kind of continues on. So I'm going to use this up, and then you jump into this one. I hadn't actually planned on using this one, but I just think that this colorway is going to have like, I kind of like how these two are a little more subdued and muted, and then this one's going to have a bit more of a pop, and it's got some kind of reddish browns in it. It's got kind of the blues that are sort of light and like a little brighter, you know, so I think it'll kind of add a nice pop at the end. As I was doing that, I kind of looked at the colorways because I bought a skein for each province and territory, and the territories I used for my sister to make her one of these. So I have the prairies left to use. Sorry, I don't have all of the prairies because I wasn't able, Manitoba I think was the only one I wasn't able to get. I have Alberta, Saskatchewan, and BC, and I think I'm going to put 3 of those into a For Your Fade shawl. Oh my God, I don't have words today. Which leaves me with Newfoundland, Quebec, and I do have the Nunavut one. So I may put those 3 together. And then I'm gonna have bits and pieces left over of all of them. And I thought then I would make those ones into, make like just a full-on stripy shawl with those ones. Because I've bought, the ones that I got the single base. And so I can't use, like, I don't want to put them into a sweater or a pair of socks, obviously, because they don't have any nylon content. So they won't, they will not last. So that is everything that I have on the needles. Oh, my half and half wrap, I have not touched. It's languishing. I think that might be, like, I'm not in a huge rush for that one. That's kind of a year-long project, I think, for me, which granted, it's April now, so I might want to kind of get on that, but it's a pick up and knit when I feel like it kind of thing. The other thing that I am planning on doing, I really want to do another ranunculus, but I'd like to kind of have it with a bit of lighter material so that I can wear it kind of in the spring, summer, early fall for just, and I might do like longer sleeves on this one, but I also want to make it looser fitting than the one that I currently have. So I picked out the Bio Balance, which is, put my glasses back on, 55% pure organic wool and 45% pure organic cotton. So, and I love this color. It's going to go with everything. I took my glasses off too soon. This is by BC Garn, if I didn't say that. I don't think it, oh, wait. No. So it's got FBL011 and PSB11024. So I don't know if one of those is the lot and one is the colorway. I expect the top one is probably the colorway and then the bottom one is maybe the lot. I have 4 of those, and that will give me 2, 4, 6, 8. That'll give me 900 meters. Yeah, which more than enough for a ranunculus. So that is going to be my next cast on, and I may get that cast on now. I don't know. I'm just feeling itchy to cast on a new sweater. So I may do that. So the other thing I want to do is I'm stealing from my shop. I have these sock sets, which is a 50 gram and then two 20 grams minis. I love, love, love these colors. Every time I go there, I'm like, I've got 3 of them in the shop and I'm just like, I really want them. So I am actually stealing one from the shop. And what I'm going to do is I am going to do, this will be the heel and toe. This is going to be obviously the mane. No, wait, heel, toe. This is going to be the cuff and the toe. No, wait. This is going to be the cuff and the toe. This is going to be the mane. This is going to be the heel and also striped throughout, kind of randomly. I stole from my shop, but I am doing a shop update. Some spring fever going in, and I've got some birch going in, which is one of my favorite colorways. And I have one of these going in. This is Campfire Stories. It's a new one. So I only have one of those. I had two. They were part of a wholesale order that I did, and I made a couple extras for myself. I've kept one. I'm going to put one in the shop. And then I was trying to recreate, last episode I showed the colorway Twilight, that it was just like a fun skein that I did probably when I first started dyeing yarn. And I wanted to try to recreate it, but I couldn't quite remember. I thought I knew what the colors were. So I tried that, but when I did the original, I did it, I think, as a one skein because I don't have any other skeins of it, which really makes the dye distribute differently. And plus I have a different dyeing process now. So I did attempt to recreate that and it didn't work, but I did get these lovely skeins out of it. So I am calling this one Dusk. I haven't given up on Twilight yet. I think I have an idea after doing this of what I needed to do, but it's got like little pops of pink and orange and then kind of different shades of gray going through. So I kept some of this for myself too, but there's going to be lots of that in the shop. There'll be lots of the birch and then the spring fever. They're going to be right across my 3 bases, BFL, MCN, and classic socks. So those are going into the shop soon, so keep an eye out for those. And then there's going to be one of those which is on my classic sock base. And there's also going to be some more minis going in, not a whole lot, but I do have some kind of lighter spring colors that I'm going to throw in. There's still 2 of those in there after I've stolen one. And that's about it. That's all that's going on here. So in life news, we have the poor dog has had some gastrointestinal issues, but she's finally on the mend. We finally had to go to the vet and just put her on some meds for that. And within like 24 hours, she was much better. And other than that, there's really not too much going on. We're talking about taking a trip, but my husband's taking a trip with his son in June to go to Washington, D.C. because they had kind of planned that trip for my stepson's graduation. The trip got kiboshed because everything shut down the week before they were supposed to leave. So they're kind of finally getting to take that one in June. And I'm just like, we were talking about going to London, but London is super expensive. So I'm just like, 2 trips in 1 year is just like a little expensive. So I thought maybe we could take a quick trip, like a 3-day trip to New York, and then maybe do London next year because I love New York. It's my favorite of all the states. Of course, that being said, I've only been to, I think, 5 states. Not counting like layovers. I've been to New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. We did a drive through there when I was, I think, right after I graduated high school. My family, we did that. And I've been to New York 2 or 3 times. I've been to San Francisco, which I love. I have been to Reno, which I did not love. Where else have I been? Florida. Was I in Texas? Oh yeah, I went to San Antonio. I love San Antonio. The people there were so nice. And that's about it. That's I stopped in Philadelphia and Boston quite often, but that was just like plain layovers. Anyway, that's about really all that's going on here. I'm going to take the dog out for a walk because the vet suggested maybe she lose about 2 pounds because she's kind of at the, she's not overweight, but she's right at the line. I think I'll probably gotta get her out for a few longer walks. And I have a feeling too, though, because we put her on the canned food, that may have put her weight up because she was on that for about 2 weeks. And I just find that like a heavier food. And before we put her on that, we weighed her and she was like at 68. And when she was at the vet, it said, I think 70. So it could have just been that food. I don't know. Anyway, we'll take her out. The weather's getting nicer, so longer walks will be not so hard to manage. But that's about all that's going on. It's been pretty quiet here the last couple of weeks. His work has been insane. You know, I had my writer's retreat 2 weekends ago, I think, and that was a lot of fun. And yeah, that's it. So I've just been kind of working on getting my schedule figured out for when I'm going to be doing my writing, when I'm going to be doing my knitting, when I'm going to be doing the podcasting, workouts. Still not going back to the gym yet. They've kind of lifted most of the restrictions. You don't have to wear a mask anywhere unless it's specified by like the business. We still wear them at work if you get up away from your desk, which I'm perfectly fine with. So yeah, it's just been really busy. So I'm still trying to figure out my schedule and how I'm going to like fit everything in to a 7-day week and still sleep. But yeah, so that's about it. That's all that's going on. I'm currently watching the Bridgertons. I'm on episode 7. I think I've watched 7 episodes so far. We finished watching Station 11, which was on, I think that was HBO Max. That was really good. What else have we been watching? We finished watching the first season of Our Flag Means Death, which I think was also on HBO Max. And we've been watching Minx, which is also on HBO. We're watching a lot of HBO Max, which was, it's funny. And that's about it. I think that's all that's going on. So I'm going to wrap this up and get going on the edit, get the dog out while the weather is beautiful. And I will catch up with you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye.